We also found out in our research is, while gold may be a better downside hedge for equity risks, right, for risky assets, Bitcoin has shown a very low correlation to bonds. So what we think is Bitcoin can diversify a multi-asset portfolio, not only for equities, but for bonds and also commodities. We have also seen very low correlation to commodities as well. So that's why, and also combined with the fact that Bitcoin has very high risk-adjusted returns historically, that's why an inclusion of Bitcoin into multi-asset portfolio can significantly increase your portfolio risk-adjusted returns without really changing like the overall risk profile of your portfolio. I think there are many different time frames. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin historically, Bitcoin's volatility, it has been declining, right? There's structural downtrend in Bitcoin's volatility because of adoption, right? We have institutional adoption, retail adoption, because of increasing scarcity, right? So our view on Bitcoin is it's still a risky asset, right? It's still a volatile asset, but its character is changing. It's becoming more gold-like over time, and our long-term views also, it will eventually disrupt gold and become like the prime store of value, digital gold, right? And become also less volatile over time. But I think more recently, it has been volatile because macro, right? I think the macro picture is more complicated, right? We are still not certain about Fed policies, right? We have geopolitical tensions, tariff talks. That's very bearish, I think, and also increasing volatility for Bitcoin. But at the same time, if you look at on-chain fundamentals, what's happening on the blockchain, you can see that corporations are buying, right? ETFs are buying. They're buying more than is mined on a daily basis. This is increasing the supply deficit that we're seeing. So liquid supply is going down on exchanges. And this is really bullish. So you have, I think, bearish factors, macro factors that are creating this volatility, right? We have global uncertainty, right? But at the same time, I think the on-chain fundamentals look very positive. The suboptimal allocation is zero allocation, because obviously if you just put in a tiny allocation into your portfolio, it can significantly increase your Sharpe ratio. So for instance, if you have a standard multi-asset benchmark, right, performance benchmark, it's almost, it's relatively easy with a tiny Bitcoin allocation to outperform this index, right? So it totally makes sense. Our thinking is zero allocation is the suboptimal allocation, because any other study will show you that if you optimize based on, for instance, risk parity, so equal risk contribution or like max Sharpe ratio, you always get a positive allocation to Bitcoin. So yeah, it makes sense.